Welcome back, Halo followers. Another multiplayer dev has left 343, and today I want to talk about 343 speaking out and what Ex-343 has to say about the company in Halo, and are we being too toxic? I want to reflect on that. Are we being too toxic? Are content creators and myself being too negative and hurting the morale at the studio? Well, today I want to talk about this story, guys. Be sure to smash that like button blue if you enjoyed the content and join me on the journey of following Halo. So, Tyler Insrud said this: after 5 years, I've made the decision to leave 343 Industries and Halo. It was an absolute honor to help build the franchise that built me. Thank you for playing and sharing your experiences with me. Love you all. Now it's time for a new journey. We do know that there is a lot of turnover at 343. This is specifically because I think an issue that has gone really unchecked with the development of this game and still is contract work. Instead of hiring people long term, giving them health benefits and salaries, they're paying people via contracts, which is very different than hiring someone as an employee. But now what we're seeing is actually employee turnover, where people are, quote, spreading their wings and flying off to other endeavors. There is new people being hired, but there's also a lot of people being rejected. 343 is a AAA company, and it's hard to work there. So what is taking 343 so long working on this game? Could it be that we are being too negative, just too toxic for them to handle? This person posted this: I think it would be greatly beneficial if we all read these words and reflect on some of the impact the community may be causing in Infinite's development. 343 are people too. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's kind of boring, but in essence, it's about an artist that got burnt out because they weren't appreciated enough. Here's the thing: people have the right to be mad. We waited over 6 years for this game. We watched a delay even happen, and the most lowest standards roll out, and basically being gaslit. And I know there's been some lies here. There has. And I hate to say it, but that's really the facts. And on top of that, yes, it's a free-to-play game, but it's a broken free-to-play game that isn't being updated like it should be for a live service game. And it's not anything we wanted. I'm sure 90% of Halo fans, if not more, would prefer a pay-to-play game that we would just pay $60 up front and get a full Halo experience versus this garbage. We all know that this is done in their benefit and not ours. We never asked for this game to be live service. This was something that they have been pushing for a while, and to be upset about the fallout of this, acting like this is the reason why Halo Infinite is stagnant, isn't true. Here's my theory. I don't think most people that are working at 343, we're talking about the foot soldiers like map designers and scripters and things like that, are feeling particularly bad about 343's larger decisions being made here. And that's because most of the people that developed this game, most of the people that would be developing the game, making it a full experience like we all want, no longer work there because they were under contracts, and no one wants to live that way. It's really impossible outside looking in to determine who exactly are making these decisions. But I think just like most other people, most Halo fans and most content creators alike, I think that there is something wrong in the decision-making process for the most part for a lot of these ideas and how they manage to do things here. I mean, contracting over 4,000 to 6,000 people or so to work on a game where most of them don't even work at the company anymore. And now where we have an engine that is completely broken, instead of just having an engine that maybe like Unreal Engine and give up 5% of your annual income on the game, it just, where are these decisions? In the Halo TV show, we have major people at 343 signing off on things like that. So who are making these decisions? But it comes back to, are we being too toxic? Are we being too negative? I really can't say with 100% certainty, but this user actually summed it up really well. They say, I don't like the straw man that's being imposed on the community from this post. We are upset at 343 for the state of the game. But now we're the bad guys because we criticize the game as consumers. I don't like someone trying to use these employees as meat shields in order to try and deflect some criticism from 343. We should not have to hold back opinions because a dev might think all the hate is to them specifically. We don't control their feelings. Absolutely true, and really summed up my personal beliefs on it. I like giving real, honest feedback to you guys, and hopefully to 343 who is listening, to hopefully improve this game. And to say that we shouldn't be critical, that we shouldn't be negative, is really counterintuitive and ultimately going to hurt the game, and also gives 343, not the employees, not the foot soldiers, but them as a company, as a collective, as an entity that is completely separate from them, a pass to make more bad decisions. We should be loud and we should be mad. It's the reason that Halo Infinite, in the ways that it's doing well, is good, because we complained about Halo 4 and Halo 5, and it's taken them a very long time to get things right. That's why I think 343 giving up the franchise is actually a very bad idea ultimately, because whoever would take up the mantle of developing Halo would have to learn all of 343's lessons again. I mean, and how many people from 343 would just move to that new company because they like working on Halo, and maybe those people are making the wrong decisions for Halo? It's really impossible to know. The best thing I think 343 can do is actually genuinely listen to people that understand Halo, because obviously there is some disconnection there. I don't believe in harassing or attacking these developers in a personal or demeaning way, and it really can come off that way to some of these developers, but ultimately we're just trying to be objective. And I feel sorry for the community manager specifically, because they're the ones that have to be the faces of the company. That's their job. We have Colby, which is a campaign level designer for Halo Infinite, and it looks like he wasn't even an employee. He said this, big agree as well. They wanted to keep extending my contract until after we shipped Halo Infinite. I didn't want to get stuck in that contract loop, so I went elsewhere and found FT employment where I would be properly compensated and not strung along. This is someone that did a lot of help on Halo Infinite, and I just have to ask, why would you not want to keep Colby? Why would you not want to keep any of these people that made such a awesome game? I mean, would you actually expect them all to come back and work for you? Would you just hope for them to be available at that time and not have a full-time position across the country? I mean, it seems like such a weird way to save money, because now they are losing out a lot, I think, on sales. And the Halo community is drying up and dying because of these decisions. Now, I do want to talk about something that did not bring me any joy to see. In fact, it kind of made me want to quit HaloFollower. But a massive lead at 343 liked a tweet momentarily that said, Halo fans are really the whiniest in video gaming. Now, this person has since left in the past year, and I don't want to point them out because there's really no point to make it personal and to get them any kind of lashback from this. And you're just going to have to take my word for it. But this is something that I did see, and I did confirm on Twitter itself. They did like it, and it really bummed me out. It really pissed me off too a little bit, because Halo Infinite was bad before the negativity. I mean, we all remember 2020's E3, right? There was something fundamentally wrong with this game years before, and I think, honestly, it's from stupid decision making, specifically them trying to make it a hero shooter. In fact, when it came to light that Halo Infinite was originally going to be a hero shooter, they really went out of their way to mention, the journalist anyway, went out to mention that this was something that they said they did not spend a considerable amount of time on. But what I heard over a year ago, which at that time was just a rumor, was that they spent a couple of years. So if you really want to know the crux of why this game is in the position of it being in this position, is not because we're being too toxic or negative. This is a delayed effect from two things: them hiring too many contractors and them trying to make Halo a goddamn hero shooter. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button blue, and I'll catch you guys in the next one soon. Peace.